Curly girls say ow.
Oh.
Okay, I was a little late, but I like it.
If you see it, if you review the footage, you'll see my mouth open and no sound coming out for that first second.
Hello there, lovers and friends. I am joined by a lover and a friend. This is Nick, also known as Soundly Awake, also known as...
Me.
Nicola.
Do you know how often I've heard that in my life?
Nicola.
Nick, Nickelodeon.
I don't know that. I'm from Canada. We didn't have Nickelodeon.
Oh my god, you're right.
800-588.
2300 Empire today.
We're so cute. Okay, so we're here today to talk about your sex life.
Okay.
And I'm very excited to be having this conversation with you because I just picture you to have the most robust sex life ever.
Thank you.
Let's start at the basics.
Okay.
When did you first acknowledge yourself as a sexual being? What's your earliest sexual memory?
Okay, so I'm gonna first describe myself. I'm gonna lay a little foundation. I consider myself a prude thought, and let me explain to you what that means. So like, I have pretty much always been somewhat of a prude on a sexual level, but very thoughty on a flirtatious level. I had a crush on Will Smith when I was 11. I didn't know it was masturbating, but thinking back on it, that's, I mean, really the definition of, like, I was touching myself and just like watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Do you know what episode?
No, I don't. But yeah, that was my first, like, and I had a word for it too. Because I didn't know the word masturbation, so I called it satisfy.
That's actually really nice. What do you remember feeling after that? Did you feel shame? Did you feel joy?
I didn't know to feel shame.
Wonderful.
I didn't know it was like something that I should feel shameful of. So I don't know when that changed, because I'm sure at some point, I mean, I grew up in a fairly religious Catholic family. So like, there's that's like shame everywhere. So at some point that must have changed to where I would associate shame and sex, any form of it.
But at that time, satisfy. When did you realize that you were attracted to men?
Okay, so this is gonna sound so weird, but I knew I was attracted to Will Smith, but I didn't think that meant gay. I didn't think that was weird in any way. I didn't see it as like me being a guy and him being a guy. I also had a crush on Aladdin, but that, like, I had these crushes, but I didn't realize that it was anything out of the ordinary, like norms. So like the first time that I realized that I was gay, I think I was like 15. So we started talking, we exchanged like AIM screen names.
I know what that is.
Chatted a little bit. And then like in the first conversation, he was like, I have to tell you something or something like that. And I was like, what? He said, is it okay that I'm a boy? And I was like, yeah. Yeah, that's okay. And then like he sent me pictures and I was like, oh, it's really okay. So when we were talking, I also met another guy who lived in New Jersey.
Nice.
And so I was talking to both of them simultaneously. They knew each other. I mean, they knew of each other.
When you think about loving men or being attracted to men, do you think about what the mechanics are of sex with men? Did you know at the time when you opened yourself up for that world that this is going to mean something different than what you have seen or learned about in school?
I think I did. I knew that it was different. As soon as that I realized that I was gay and gay was a thing, I knew what gay was at that point. And so maybe that's how I was able to identify myself as being gay. But like, whatever the mechanics I would have expected, I would have seen from like scenes in movies or, I don't know, TV shows. Like Oz on HBO.
That's awesome. So you'd already had, I think it's massively important for people to have frames of reference. So if you've never seen a movie, which is why representation really does matter, and people who have the representation taken care of already will disagree with that, but you'll never know until you haven't seen your story, your face, the way that you love positioned or portrayed on camera. So I think it's wonderful that you had movies like that or TV shows already as is.
Yeah, but of course, watching those things, it felt wrong. Like, it felt like I can't like experience watching this with anyone else. Like, watching that show Oz, I would have been like in the basement and like turning it on, and if someone's trying to come down the stairs, I'm changing the channel.
Right.
So like, it was still in the context of being something that shouldn't be allowed. And so I think that kind of creates another layer where that it kind of builds it in that like there's something shameful about what I am. Like, that's something that I identify as gay. I also identify as gay. We can't exist as the same thing without there being shame.
Did you ever go through a period of time of repression or trying to be something that you weren't?
Oh yeah. This would have been in high school, and maybe like a year or two after I found out that I was gay or figured out. And I would be walking through the hallways of school and like looking at girls and internally telling myself like, you think she's hot, you want to date her, like just walking down the hallway. And it would just be a thought that I would repeat and like try to make a reality.
What was your first sexual experience?
We never like did the deed, like we never did anal sex, but all the other stuff.
You exchanged oral?
We did. And that was like, it was like there were two people in my brain, because like one was like, you are so like wrong for doing this, and the other part was like and then for my first serious boyfriend, I was 19, and that's when I lost my whole ass virginity. And that's like another big first, and so he has that.
Anal?
Yeah.
I have not had great luck with it.
Okay.
Did you always have great luck with it?
So, I don't know how to say this, because I think some people who watch me will know who this person is because he was in a video before. But I'm just gonna say that he was blessed.
Okay.
And he was my first.
Yes.
So like, you know, when you start, you just need to take it real slow, and you need to make sure she's lubricated.
Yeah.
Like, all the way lubricated.
What's your preferred lubrication?
Astroglide is good. Yeah, Astroglide is a good one. But yeah, and also just, I think you kind of have to endure it, and then it will subside.
Okay.
So like, if you get past that, I don't know if this is good advice, but if you get past that, then it won't hurt anymore.
Are you prostate orgasmer?
Then yeah.
Did you work on that over time, and when did you first experience that?
I think, okay, so without like touching myself, that's happened a couple times, not every time, but I think that's
without touching, just like,
you know, like without masturbating.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And those, like that doesn't happen every time.
Yeah.
But I think that might just be because I'm greedy and impatient.
Right. You're like, okay, enough of this. What advice can you give to straight girls that would make their sex game incredible?
Ooh, I mean, okay, I know a lot of guys are afraid of butt stuff, like straight guys. But I mean, I would say like for a girl, a straight girl, or a girl who's in a relationship with a guy, just have the conversation. Be like, hey, I want to try something new tonight. Are you down? Hopefully they say yes. Honestly, like, he's gonna be like putty in your hands if you do it right. And like that, I feel like that is like a secret that's not really a secret.
Well, how do you do it right?
Just, maybe 1, 2, lots of lube. Don't do that. I'd say. And just like, curve up a little bit, apply some pressure, and
so it's similar because the motion for women is up and forward. It's the come here motion.
Yeah.
So it's the exact same.
I would say so. And nipples. If nipples aren't being paid attention to, I don't know what is going on.
The stat is though 50-50.
Really?
That half of the people like it and half don't. Because I'm a don't.
You're a don't.
I suck.
Oh my God.
No, I would get nipple piercings 10 years ago if I didn't have the crummiest boobs. Always painful, always too sensitive, always a no. I don't like it.
First of all, the phrase crummiest boobs is your new Twitter bio.
For anybody who's watching this video right now and has never spoken to a gay man before about his sexuality, what is a massive misconception that people have?
I mean, I do think that there's a misconception that every gay person is promiscuous. And I don't, there's nothing wrong about having multiple sexual partners and doing it safely. But I mean, 1, it's not everyone. 2, why does that matter? Like, if someone is having a lot of sex with different people, that's really no concern to you unless you're fucking them.
Right.
So,
mind your business.
Also, like, kinks don't have to be, like, you don't have to be kinky to have good sex. I think. I think vanilla could be real good. If you just have like a vanilla sundae with some strawberry sauce, some rainbow sprinkles, that's delicious.
Or just the vanilla sundae by itself sounds great.
You know what? Listen, sometimes you want to try vanilla because you haven't had it for so long. It just tastes new to you again.
What do you want to leave the choir with?
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna get, first of all, I just realized we have really similar handwriting. Sorry.
Oh, sorry for you actually.
Okay, so I would give you the same advice that I would give myself, and it would just be to be a little bit more open. If you feel like you're closing yourself off from different experiences, just tweak her open a little bit. Just like a little peek.
Just crack it open.
See what's in there.
One finger at a time.
One finger at a time.
One lubed finger at a time. Preferably that finger.
And isn't that the lesson?
So we're going to do also a video on Nick's channel as well. He is in a long distance relationship right now and thriving inside of it.
Yes.
Doing a beautiful job. So if you guys can relate to that, or you want just more of Nick in general, go on down to the info box, find yourself some links, get your fingers lubed up, and come on by.
Stick them in, sweetheart.
Black or grow like this.